Hello, this is Jalen Timms, and welcome to my Environmental Science 302 class project. In this project, I will be talking about how the environmental changes have had an effect on Lake Michigan. The climate change I'm talking about is the warming temperatures are at record highs, in some places hitting triple digits. Higher temperatures mean that our summers are much higher than normal. This means that we are getting rainier and warmer springs. And if you live in the Midwest like I do, that means our winters are not the same as they used to be. In the past 7 years, Lake Michigan has swelled up more than 6 feet. This is an ominous sign that climate change has an effect on the lake, and we need to do something about it. The Federal Emergency Agency, also known as FEMA, made a list of the top cities in the U.S. that were susceptible to flood risk. At the top of the list was Chicago's. FEMA's map shows that 0.3% of Chicago's 600,000 properties are at risk of flooding. When it rains, the city's aged sewer system can be overwhelmed before reservoirs hit capacity. The result is sewer backups that spout polluted water into basements and into city streets. This is particularly a problem in Chicago's South Side neighborhoods. In order to learn why this is happening, we need to learn how the Great Lakes operate. The Great Lakes function like a slow-moving river flowing from west to east, with each lake dumping into the next. Their collective overflow is gathered in the St. Lawrence River and carried into the Atlantic Ocean. Due to the increase in temperature by 1.2 degrees since 1991, warmer air factors into wetter weather and submerging lake level because it can hold more moisture, but warmer air also means that there's more evaporation. Due to this slight increase in temperature, it has dramatically reduced the lake's water ice cover, and because ice reflects the sun's heat, the less ice means that warmer water, which accelerates evaporation. Due to these higher evaporation rates, it caused a lot of rain, which Chicagoans had to pay the price for. This caused a disappearance of some of the beaches, and during extreme storms, a lot of people's homes were flooded. However, flooding in Chicago isn't new. Now I will be talking about what solutions have been done in the past to reduce flooding. In the past, floods have caused sewage to pump into the streets. So Chicago's old leaders got creative. Instead of putting sewers under the streets, they put sewers on top of the streets, and they built new roads on top of the old ones. But all the sewage still flowed into the Chicago River, which flowed into the lake, which was the source of the drinking water. Since the source of drinking water had the potential to get residents sick, former city leaders had to come up with a new idea. The idea was to reverse the direction of the river that flowed from Michigan into the Des Plaines River, which flowed into the Mississippi River. They did this by creating a canal that connected the Chicago River to the Des Plaines River. Now I will talk about new solutions Chicago has made to reduce flooding. Today on the Chicago waterfront stands the Harbor Lock. It's a set of steel gates that separates the lake water from the river water. It also marks a spot for the boats to pass between the Great Lakes and the Mississippi Water Basin. Throughout the past century, storm-fluid sewers regularly overflow Chicago sewage treatment plants. This resulted in storm water and sewage being dumped straight into the river and into the canal. During really heavy storms, the river and canal system would get overwhelmed. This left two bad choices. One of the choices would be to let the river and canal system overflow, which would cause the city to overflow with sewage, or open the lock gates, which would let the polluted water go into the Lake Michigan. Since the 1970s, Chicago has been constructing a multi-billion-dollar sewage storage system. The idea is that when the rainstorms hit, the extra runoff can be safely warehoused. Once the storm subsides, all the storm water and raw sewage can be solely treated and released, avoiding floods and avoiding the release of untreated water into Lake Michigan. The network of sewage systems can hold up to 12 billion gallons of water right now. However, it is not completed. Once it's completed, it could hold up to 2 billion gallons of water. While the system has dramatically increased the water quality in the river and the lake, it cannot handle the worst storms. So, to help soak up some of the rainfall, there have been green roofs that have been built and porous parking lots, but that still isn't enough. This still forces Chicago to rely on opening the Lockport gates, which in turn releases the polluted water into Lake Michigan. Thank you for watching the video. Here's a list of sources I use, and if you have any questions or comments, please ask them in the comment section below.